hello, hello. That's three hellos. I said hello, hello, hello. It's three hellos. Folks, how's everybody doing? Thank you for being here. And, folks, thank you for joining me again. I love doing these streams. I try to, be as active as I can, on YouTube. We are here at my YouTube Cheds Trading. This is going to go into the quick market updates. But I'll definitely skip here, like if I've got stuff going on in my life. These are extra, right? These are definitely extra. What's not extra is Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. I've been doing that for 7 years. And I do the twice a week full market report. I haven't skipped that in 7 years, but like YouTube, I'll skip. But here's the deal though. Even if I skip, I've got so much stuff for you folks. I got the brand new playlist, Trading Encyclopedia. These are 3-minute videos. They're basically designed to teach you technical analysis, concept, professional TA, candlestick theory, classical charting. Take a look at it. I've got all sorts of cool patterns. I've got indicators. I'm essentially going to do everything you could think of. If you don't see a subject, let me know. I'm going to record the video. I've got a bunch of, recently I did a bunch of interviews, long form interviews, and hopefully I'll record another one next week. I've got a few lined up, excellent guests, really smart people. So I've done 3 recently. I've restarted the playlists. A lot of stuff here on YouTube. I published recently I've published 4 books. And so I'm doing the 3rd book, free, trading quotes, yada, yada, yada. So check out the YouTube. I got a ton of great stuff. You know me, of course, I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. And that's probably where you know me from. Just to let you know, I'm a partner at BitX, the exchange. I've been with them for like 5 or 6 years. I also have a new partnership, though, for the folks in the US, edgeX. So you can check out that link in the video description. You can check it out in my page as well to check them out. All right, but let's get that. Now that stuff's out of the way, folks, we're here to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum. We'll do some altcoins. We'll kind of try to make sense of what's going on in the market. But if you can hear me, just let me know what's up. Let me know how everybody is doing. Let's see. Is my audio off? I forgot to check. Good. Good. Sometimes I do the intro and I've got really good momentum. And I don't have any audio, which is kind of annoying. So I think what I'll do, I kind of want to go over some of my recent tweets. I feel like that will give you folks a good chance to see what I'm thinking, where I'm coming from. I'll do a call, but I'll just do a quick overview on the weekly, and then I'll just weekly, daily, whatever, and I'll poke through my tweets. We're looking at that potentially first MA20 tag here in the weekly since back in April. But, overall, this is a very strong looking chart. If it was Bitcoin, if it was anything, it's just beautiful, kind of basically a throwback. Price is retesting the peak of this range. And so that's quite strong. We're going from first level EMA 8 to kind of second level MA 20, EMA 34 type of a range. That's still generally quite bullish, and you see the price dropping into support. So weekly picture is quite nice. Daily's really interesting, right? And I want to kind of look at this. So here's the question. Cheds, is it top, right? I really don't know. I think it's impossible to call a top. Even though in 2020, when I called the top on the exact day, that was a fluke. I got super lucky. That had to do with other things. I just felt it. I'm more disciplined now, and the truth is, you can't really know if it's a top until much more damage has been done, right? If we look at what happened with this, let's just quickly again review 2021 top. So in the weekly time frame, you definitely see the double top with the up thrust, right? You see the double top with the up thrust, but really what was I was actually expecting this price to continue and do an ascending triangle to 130 all the way back here. And you can check my tweets, and people all the time will be like, Chad, you suck. Look what you said back here. And I'm like, yeah, I was wrong. I thought this was going to continue. So I was calling local top, not cycle top, because I thought we would just drop back and continue. But what happened was we started to lose the weekly MA50, all right? Weekly MA50 held, it held, and we started to lose it. So here, right, a big clue is going to be MA50. A big clue is going to be, do we continue to hold the MA50? And just kind of look at the parallels so far. Holding. So it really won't be until we start, if and when we start to lose the weekly MA50, you can start to think there maybe is a top. I understand people drawing the comparisons because of just kind of the similar, like right here, right? And I'll pull up my tweet showing you this, but right here you've got the outside bar with up thrust, right? And it's essentially what happened in 2021 top. So I've been kind of doing a fun, like I said, fractal for fun. Let me try to find it. I'm just like way too active on Twitter, so it's like not easy to find my tweets, but I'm gonna find it. I'm just gonna scroll down. TRX. TRX has been super strong. Taught a lot about Ethereum, all that good stuff. Thanks for your patience. All my little videos here, right? All the trading encyclopedia videos. So this is interesting. All sorts of trailing stop losses triggered. This is essentially trailing stop loss. And maybe I'll bounce around here, but trailing stop loss is you have the price trend and you have your stop loss rather than like, you take a breakout. Here's my stop loss. Say the price continues, you move your stop loss with it, like trails, even, like a percentage, a certain dollar amount away. So like there's big volatility, stop loss is triggered. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go here. Somewhere in here, I have my tweet that I'm trying to find. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe it's more recent. I feel like it was more recent than that. Let's see. Fractal for fun. Folks, thank you for being patient. This is just me, by the way. I'll read the chat in a second. Sometimes people say, Cheds, why do you ignore my messages? It's just me. I'm just a dude in an orange mask hanging out, talking about trading, which I love, and teaching trading, which I love to do. Here we go. So fractal visual for fun. So I put this out August 14th, and it was the original tweet. I said, okay, fractal visual for fun. If you look at the 2021 top, right, we had the outside bar. This is why people are like saying, is it top? And my point is we don't know yet. It's way too early, but it's interesting to observe. Here's a 2021 top with the outside bar and the up thrust. And then here is essentially what we have now, right? It's kind of interesting, somewhat similar. So that's at least worth talking about, and that's interesting, right? Right now, we got fresh local lows in Bitcoin. We're seeing a 4H sweep. So we talk about the weekly chart. Weekly chart's really strong. Local, when I say local, it just basically means in the nearby candle series. Fresh local lows. So we talked about the weekly picture that sets the table. What's going on with the daily chart, right? So we talked about the up thrust, and sure, we can draw that level just for fun. We have the up thrust, and you see a pretty well described pivot, momentum pivot, right around 116. We're clearly in the underside of that. We had the bounce, up into the underside of that a couple times. Found support here, SMA 50, which means simple moving average, equally weighted. I'm gonna get to your chats, folks. And then a drop back into this general support range, right? And a bounce and kind of chopping around and underside 112. We're clearly in a falling channel, okay? That means just lower highs, lower lows. So, like, what's important to look at? Well, daily chart's still quite decent. I mean, you've price above a rising MA200, price is falling into support. I think you got to kind of identify like logical levels again. And I've been talking about this in Bitcoin Live and elsewhere. 106K makes sense to me for some type of a bounce, maybe like one more leg down from here and kind of go from there. But generally, again, the trend is still quite strong in the weekly. Sure, you can believe it's a top because Solana breaking out, because Ethereum, because whatever, because dog with hat coin, like whatever, whatever, right? But I think there's really just not enough information to call a top based on, like, there's no way to call a top in this. Like, there's nothing in this, right? There's nothing like in the four corners, right, of this chart that says top. You could draw a rising wedge, sure, but you have to lose support. Here would be like, okay, we lost some support here. You lost a higher low in the weekly. That'd be a big warning sign. Starting to close below, the MA50, that'd be a big warning sign. But again, back to 2021, even though I got super, 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 super lucky, right? It wasn't really a confirmed top in terms of like a momentum until the price topped, it tried to bounce, and it was thrown back. And that was at 48K, right? The top was 69K. So we'd already started to lose the 50. And what happened here was we had a local breakout, fake out, the old up thrust. The price attempted to rejoin the weekly trend, and it was thrown back. And right here I don't know if you folks remember my tweet where I said the run from 12K to 100K is going to be unbelievable, and people told me I was insane. I'm crazy. I am crazy, but I'm not insane. This told me the top's in, and this wasn't. This is, this was whatever 2022. This wasn't months until actually after the Pico or the nut top. So resist the urge to ask if it's the top. Resist the urge to call a top. I mean, we don't really know until after the fact. All you can really do is follow signs of trend weakening, trend strengthening. It's still an uptrend on the daily chart, on the weekly chart. For sure, look for opportunities to buy dips at clearly defined levels. So that's just a little bit of context on that. So I think for right now in the daily chart, it's just kind of pushing back towards a logical support level in kind of the middle of this structure, right around 106K. I think 112K chopped around a little bit. It's still a level worth watching, but there's a concept I want to explain. Going back, and I'll get to the chat room, folks. Thanks for your patience. So going back to a tweet I put out last night, right? So where did I put out? We'll get to SOL in a second. We'll talk about MicroStrategy in a moment, rather. Here we go. The more Bitcoin chops through 112K, the less important it becomes. So this is a concept in classical charting. So it's like you want to pay attention to what the price tells you to pay attention to, right, folks? So here's a bounce, rejection, bounce, rejection, bounce, rejection. Clearly, you're in a well-defined range, upper boundary. Let's call this 100, right? Really, really important level, right? $100. The price comes up and it starts doing this and like chopping through 100. It's just not an important level anymore. Like the price is no longer respecting it, right? So you want to pay attention to when the price, if it starts to like chop through levels, and it was starting to chop through it here on lower time frame, making it kind of difficult to use as a risk pivot. I mean, here's 112K. It's kind of chopping through it. So it's somewhat of a level, but in my view, it's not as well defined as 116K, which is very important overhead level. So price kind of chopped through it, pushing below. The danger with a bounce here is you're bouncing into resistance. So any kind of bounce, even if it bottoms, it's going to take a little bit of time. Again, the upside, the silver lining for bulls is you got plenty of support below. I want to talk about a couple things, and then I want to hear from you folks. So get those questions ready. Drop me a line in the chat. If you can hear me, let me know. By the way, like if you've seen Trading Encyclopedia, I spam it on Twitter all the time, but I made this for you folks. Questions you have for me. These are 3-minute videos that will really help you understand all these key concepts. Let me know if you've seen the videos, what you like, what you don't like. So I want to talk about MicroStrategy real quick, and then I'll go to Ethereum and Solana, and then I'll check your chat room. MicroStrategy is interesting. If you're observing, we have lost the MA200. I mean, any kind of confirmation method you choose, and again, I have a video on, like, people ask you all the time, like, how do I confirm a move? Is it a confirmed breakout, right? I get that like all the time. Sorting by most popular, confirmation, right? How do I confirm a breakdown or breakout? So it really depends on your risk tolerance. But even under like an incredibly conservative methodology, you have of like maybe 3 daily candle closes below, you've got it. You've lost the MA200, and that's under and even a conservative way to mark it up. So the MA200 is lost on the MicroStrategy. What does that mean? Is that important? How can we put that into context? So let's take a look. Quick wick and held. Little wick, held, right? Held since forever, right? We're talking about 2023. This is a quick V reversal. So this is really 1, 2, 3 closes, but a V reversal, and this is near a bottoming. So it really lost it for the first time since it had bottomed out in 2023. But a better context is what happened the last time it lost the MA200 after a sustained uptrend. And that would be your analogy, to what we're seeing right here. And with MicroStrategy, it held, and then it lost it. So what are we looking at here? It held, and it lost it. Now, back here in 2021, it was near a top. And I put that out in my tweet where it basically said, near a top, right? Because we had just a little push higher and then it rolled over. Regardless, this is worth being cautious. Now, it was interesting. I put out a tweet MicroStrategy, and people ask me, is the Bitcoin top in? I'm like, no, this is the MicroStrategy chart. I'm not talking about the Bitcoin chart. And yes, they're connected. Yeah, I get it. That's obvious. You still have to trade in the four corners of the chart, what's in front of you. If you're in MicroStrategy, trade in whether it's below support, resistance, whether it holds support. Trade based on just what's right in front of you, because MicroStrategy has its own. It's not one-to-one, and there's debt instruments, and there's all these other things that can affect the price, and all that. So like, I wouldn't say this shouldn't make you more bearish on Bitcoin. It should make you more bearish on MicroStrategy. Be more disciplined, right? So I didn't want to remove all the markings. Let's bring those back. Bring it back. Bring it back. There we go. So and we'll go back to the correct watch list. So that should make you more cautious for sure on MicroStrategy, not necessarily Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we've got our game plan. We're dropping towards support. Weekly chart looks good. I think we still give edge to bulls, certainly until we lose the 50. That's held. That's been critical. So Solana. What's Solana doing? So I had a few Solana tweets recently. I tweeted about, working on a local breakout. What's a local breakout? Well, local means, again, nearby, because it's not a breakout because, writ large or overall or even high time frame. Even though week is high time frame, it's got this resistance. It would have to break here, but it's a local breakout because a breakout of this structure is the local structure. It's pushing higher, rising demand, ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it. But what was really interesting is I saw yesterday, my timeline was littered with people claiming credit in Solana, and everyone's talking about it. And I'm like, man, with this Solana buzz, you think it was 250? No retweets. I think people didn't like my cynicism, but I'm just like, man, it's just a minor breakdown, and it could very easily wick back into the range. I just felt like a sentiment overextension, right, on Solana. That being said, it's a nice looking chart. It's a pretty nice looking chart. It's just not, it's not an explosive chart. It's a grinding higher type of chart. So it's more of a steady uptrend. And I just felt like the enthusiasm that I was seeing in the timeline didn't match it. What's going on with ye old ETH? Do we need to draw a diamond? That doesn't matter. Diamond top. Yeah, I actually haven't recorded the video on diamond top yet, but that's coming. It doesn't quite matter, right? What matters is, do you get a test? Do we get a test of broken resistance? We have talked a lot about the right angle, descending, broadening wedge, and the measured move, 6,500 linear, and 9,500 logarithmic, and all that good stuff, right? And so we're seeing a drop back towards a well-defined demand range. You'd love to buy here. You should definitely buy with 2 fists, maybe even 3 fists. Borrow a fist from a friend, and this would be a wonderful, buying opportunity. High time frame. Throwback. What's a throwback? It's a bullish retest. Of course, I have a video or two on throwbacks somewhere in here. Throwback. There's one. I have a couple more as well. And this is ranked. In this case, I have the videos ranked by popularity. But just a lot of the simple stuff I talk about, you can see here. So it's heading back towards support. It's got major support. The overall structure is still quite nice. But we'll zoom in a little bit, get a feel, get a sense of it. Testing MA20, lost the MA20 here. MA20, loss of MA20. Heading back towards support, even got some support here as well. So doesn't my wife know I'm doing work? Well, actually, that's my buddy. Doesn't he know? So we're heading back towards support in an overall strong trend. No real worries. And we know, of course, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Big time V reversal. Big time recapture of a momentum level. Okay. So that's kind of those are a few of the things I wanted to say to set the table with you folks. I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear from you now. I'm going to scroll back in the chat. I'm going to catch up. Listen to me, if I miss your message, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to miss your message. You're just a dude in a mask, hanging out, drinking coffee, having fun, talking charts. No moderator. These are free. This is for fun. Don't get too worked up, but I'll do my best, all right? What's up, Oceanic? Taylor, nice to see you. Influence as always. Teddy, Luis, Paul, Chocolate, Ronnie, Moon, Ezra. Anon, it's good to see everybody. And the folks I didn't mention, thank you for being here. So let's get some good questions here, folks. Give me your best. Give me what you got. If I don't know, I'll tell you, right? All right, what's up, Big Cheddar? What's going on? Taylor wants to know, can you look at SUI and XRP? They might be breaking down. Yeah, okay. I mean, SUI kind of sucks compared to XRP for sure. XRP's been, actually, I'm sorry, I was thinking of SEI, say. SUI's actually not bad. So we'll do SUI. I've got SUI here. SUI looks a little bit like Solana, just not as strong, right? So whereas Solana has a similar ascending triangle type structure, you know, ascending triangle basically just means, you know, horizontal resistance with rising demand, right? More aggressive buyers. You have a similar structure here. Solana would be up here. So it's just a little bit weaker than Solana, but still, this looks quite decent. Is it breaking down, Taylor? I mean, it's testing support. It's testing rising demand structure. I think really, and I've been, you know, emphasizing this on Bitcoin Live. You just really want to see it hold at 325. So and this is probably the same thing I talked about last time I covered it. So there's no change. There's no update. It's not breaking down yet. It's just testing support. Testing support is not breaking down. Losing support might be breaking down. So just watch 325. All right. Don't over anticipate. Don't see a breakdown before it actually happens. And same with XRP, still kind of chilling, still kind of hanging in there. Is it breaking down? Where's the breakdown? It's just testing support. Like, where's the breakdown in here? This is a breakdown? Just testing support. It's got to actually lose support for you to start thinking, is it a breakdown? And I think I have BCL watching 275, I believe. So neither of those charts are breaking down, no, but they're testing support, yes. Taylor loves the intro. That's, by the way, that song is Church of Eight Wheels. I've been using that for whatever, 5 years on YouTube. Good morning to you. It's Cheds. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice week. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and some plans. Much love from Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you, Ion Lola. I appreciate that. I've never been to Nigeria, but I would love to. Whatever. Why not? I just check out everywhere. Can you take a look at CRO? Sure. What is that? That's the crypto coin or whatever. Crypto.com, right? CRO. Chronos. What does Chronos remind me of? I hear Chronos, I think of like a Transformer character or something, right? And I think of time. So here's Chronos. Let's go back to here with a little bit of volume. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. What is this? This is accumulation. Now, you can use something called an on-balance volume, which is a momentum indicator. It measures volume in the buy and the red on the, you know, volume in green versus red candles. It should match the trend. You can use it for regular or reversal divergence. I don't know if I've recorded the video on the OBV yet, but it's coming, right? I have recorded RSI. That's available. But you don't even need this, right? Because you can just look. It's one of those things where I teach you, and I have a video basically reading oscillators in the chart. You can just see accumulation, big green accumulation, flat, boring bottoming range, and big volume in the breakout. So something's cooking here. But let's put it into perspective on the weekly chart. Okay, it's definitely broken out of a bottoming range. Do we need to label this, right? Do we need to label this construction? You could call it, I mean, you might think this is goofy, but you can call this a rounding bottom and a break of a rounding bottom. It's just that simple. Range peak, very roughly expressed here, bounces and back towards kind of a rounding demand type structure, red light, orange, green. It's a green light now. Bulls have control. Bulls have the football. They're in, you know, they're past the 50-yard line, whatever analogy you want to use. So Chronos actually looks halfway decent. And I definitely like the volume. So good question. Good question. Bueno pregunta. Okay, let's see. Can you take a look? Ave, sure, Taylor. Taylor's got 2 questions answered already. I'm just going down in order. Hope everybody's doing well. If you're not doing well, you are, let me know. Love to hear from you. Yeah, all right. What is going on with Ave Maria? All right, still looks okay. It's just kind of grinding higher. The 200 is flat, right? What does that mean? What does that matter? Well, when you orient yourself for a trade, the whole thing is you want to be trading with the trend, right? You know, any kind of system you're using, moving average crosses, just really anything dependent on having a trend. So when you have to the 200, right, in classical charting is the trend. 200, here's the blue line. It means there's 200 candles equally weighted, a simple moving average. There's no real trend, it's just flat. But the price structure locally, rising demand, rising demand, rising demand, higher highs, pushing higher. So you've got bull momentum locally. It's just not that strong a trend yet, you know. But overall, it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. It's got support here, higher low to defend, higher low to defend. I think it looks pretty good. It's doing its thing. If you like it, you should like this. You know, you should like these retracements, these drops back into support. If you're a bull, right? You need to, you know, if you're a bull, you shouldn't fear consolidation because the more you digest, the higher you can go, right? We talked about this and that. Let me see here. What's going on? Serious question. Oh, Paul has a serious question, folks. When someone says serious question, I love it. All right, serious question. If I have Bitcoin, I hope you have Bitcoin. If I have Bitcoin and we turn towards an alt season, what does that mean, turn towards an alt season? That's a very, I don't know what that means, turn towards alt. Here's a serious question. Should I sell my Bitcoin to rotate to alts? Or should I keep for the long term? Well, I mean, that's like an investment question. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trading Bitcoin or are you investing in it? Like, what are you doing? Like, you got to figure that out. But what do you mean towards alts? Like, there's been great alts. You could have been in TRX all year. I mean, you can wait for an alt season or you can play good charts. I mean, you're up like 50% on TRX like this year. Okay. Wow. TRX first lower Bollinger dip. I mean, this has been one of the strongest charts. I mean, not to plug TRX, but I mean, it's one of the best charts. So here, okay, should I, you know, alt season, just play a chart. Like these narratives, alt season, this and that, just pick a chart. Like, does CRV, well, CRV didn't hold 80 cents, but does CRV hold 80 cents? BCH has been uber strong. Okay, fails here, next level below, BNB, even XRP, even Aave, even Solana. Like, it doesn't mean, like, if you think it's alt season, it doesn't mean you can go play Filecoin or VET or like some like garbage chart, some garbage in the sense of it's just a weak chart. Like, even Link's been pretty good. Just play a good chart. Like, don't worry about like alt season means this and that. Like try to avoid drawing these grand conclusions about what it's going to mean for every chart. That's just not how it works. This is your money. This is your hard-earned money. It needs to be based on what's in front of you, four corners of the chart. I'm going to risk some of my money that I worked hard to earn based on what's going on here. Not based on, this is Link. So I'm going to trade Link based on what I see here, not based on Ethereum, not based on Bitcoin, not based on anything else. So when you ask me, I have Bitcoin, should I sell my Bitcoin and rotate to alts? I mean, you can, but what alt? Is it better than Bitcoin? Just draw a chart. You know, look at like Solana. If you want to do Solana, pull up Solana BTC, see which one's stronger. Ride the stronger chart, but just play that chart. Don't play alts. Like, if you want to, you're trying to be too cute by half. You're nailing like Bitcoin. Bitcoin still looks really strong. It's dropping towards support. It just hasn't even tagged the weekly 20. And we're talking about like giving up in Bitcoin. We're talking about like playing alts. Like, you have to be more disciplined and respect your money and just play the chart in front of you. Okay, Paul? Did I look at Sui? I looked at Sui already, Anon. Gold, GLD. Or are you thinking GLD like the miner, right? Isn't GLD the miner ETF, I believe? Yeah, let's go here. Let's take a look. That's what I thought, right? ETF, right? Wow, that's a bullish look. Holy moly. Woof, that is beautiful. I got to say that is beautiful. I love a well-defined overhead level. You have to take long here in a break of 318 on the GLD. And this obviously is reflective of the underlying asset itself of gold, and spot futures, all that. This thing looks really good. I don't know what to say. And if you know, this should be obvious to you at first glance. This is a super, super bullish chart. Gold looks really good. You give me hope for Ethereum and Sol. Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily want to give you hope, Philip. It's not about me giving you hope. It's more so I'm trying to give you my honest interpretation of the data we have now, right? I'm not here to give you hope or to scare you. I'm here to be as honest with you as possible. I'm here to tell you exactly what I think based on all my years of trading, all my years of studying these assets, and just trying to maintain like credibility in this space. And all you can really do is be systematic, have your system, price versus support and resistance. All right, love the stream. What do you think would be the next SOL move? Hey, Roman, thanks for your comment. What do I think the next SOL move is? Probably testing support here. A lot of people like already called a breakout. My best guess, and it's a guess, probably just test support and then maybe continue. You've got a rising demand trend. People were very excited on kind of like a weak grinding type of breakout. I think it probably rolls back a little bit, tests, and then goes. What's the history behind the name Big Cheds? Sure. When I was younger, I was the only one of my friends who had a job. Like literally. And I had a pretty good job. I made pretty good money. And so I paid for everything. I took my friends on vacations. I took my friends out to dinner. I was Cheds, cheddar. I was Big Cheds. And just from there, my friends started calling me it too. And so I've always been Cheds and Big Cheds. I don't know why big. It's just, hey, Big Cheds. And that's just been Big Cheds. Bert. Hey, Tobias. What's Bert? I don't think I've heard of this one before. Is that like Ert and Bernie or something? Mexi, Qtam, Bertrand. Okay, this looks like I know it's a meme coin because it says Pomeranian. All right. Hey, folks, this is some of the best technology around. There's no chart here. Oh, here we go. A little bit of history on Bert. I apologize. So Mexi has a little history. Yeah, it's a nice little trend. Looks good. You see the price has broken out of a bottoming range. Definitely want to see bulls defend this level. That's pretty well defined. Nice local grind. This is holding what is called, or what I call, primary uptrend support. And how about that? I just so happened today to have published a brand new video in the Trading Encyclopedia called Primary and Secondary Uptrend Support. You should go watch it. So you can, who was it? Was it Thomas? Tobias. So you can understand what that means for the price to be riding the EMA 8. Go watch that video. Pith. Sure, a couple of people asked for Pith chart, Pith network. Is it Python or something? I think of the programming language, Python. I don't know how to use it. I know of it. Of course, I did a little C programming, C++ in college, but I am not that good. All right. Downtrend that bounced. What do we do? Folks, let me ask the chat room here, and I'm going to wait a second so you can respond. What do we do with the downtrend that bounces? Okay. What do we do? You short it. This is a nice short setup. It is a garbage chart that has just bounced right into resistance. This is kind of a 5-star setup for a short. You're probably, now this is probably not what you wanted to hear. You're probably I'm just being honest. You're probably bag holding from higher. You love it. You like the technology. You like the whatever it's supposed to be. But this is a downtrend that bounced. It's giving you a very nice short opportunity. Why? Well, your whole idea is to take advantage of a move against the trend. If you want to go long, wait for an uptrend to dip. If you want to go short, wait for a downtrend to rip. Furthermore, you can very easily define your risk, which means if you're in a short, you're not going to hold if it can bounce really above maybe like 26 cents. 25, 26 cents, just above. So this is a garbage chart that just bounced. Really nice setup for a short. And that's my opinion on Pith. Hopefully you folks answered short when I said, what do you do with a downtrend that bounces, right? EM, what's up? EM says, I know this would require a crystal ball. Hold on, I have one. Let me grab my crystal ball. I'm curious if you think they'll use the actual rate cuts as a sell. No, I don't. You're wrong guy to ask about rate cuts. I don't know anything. I'm terrible at fundamentals. Go ask Texas MC Trades or whatever, the guy I follow. I don't, rate cuts, that has nothing to do with this show. I don't care. I just let the price guide me. I know nothing about fundamentals. I apologize, EM. It's a great question. I just don't have any alpha on that. I'm just terrible at fundamentals. I am literally a pure price guy. I specialize in the price trend. I've studied extensively CMT. I've read the textbooks. I've been teaching this stuff for probably a decade now. And I just don't care about the news. I just want to see what the price does. It tells me if the news matters. All right. Thanks for backing up my neutral to bearish takes on Bitcoin, on MicroStrategy. Yeah, I talk about MicroStrategy. Can you look at Riot? Sure. Let's take a look at Riot. I don't mind taking a look at, let's have a Riot here. Let's have a Riot. Let's have some fun. Hope everybody's doing well. Folks, by the way, thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me. This is a stream on my YouTube channel. We'll do a quick reset. This is Cheds Trading in YouTube. I try to stream here, once or twice a week, but I'll skip if I've got stuff going on. These are fun. These are extra. Bitcoin Live, I never skip. I do that twice a week. Just as you know, I am a partner of BingX, and I now have a new partnership for U.S. folks, edgeX, to check them out to trade. But on YouTube, check out the encyclopedia, check out the quotes playlist. I have new interviews coming, a lot of great stuff. But thank you for being here. So let's go to, let's see. You asked me about Riot. Let's do that. So what is Riot doing? Okay. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hope you had a good week. Really appreciate it. Interesting. So gap, it's interesting for me that it regained the gap. So you want to see this hold now. This should be support. Japanese candlestick theory, classical charting are in alignment on the idea that the window, this is a window, it should be support or resistance. So breakdown, it should be resistance, the entire thing, but really the peak of it, right? So for example, and I have a video on gaps, which doesn't necessarily apply to crypto, but it's good to know. If you have all this and then a gap up, like this should be support, right? The most important level. So it's regained it. You would have expected a rejection, didn't happen. So now you really want to see that hold, okay? It's got resistance here though. So it's a kind of a very tight window of momentum. It's a very, very tight momentum window. And I think you get a pretty good clue just by observing, price interaction and which one of these levels, gives away first right here. Basically the 1480 roughly down to around 1340 range. So great question. Satoshi says, all the best. Thanks for your patience. Thank you, brother. EM says, Cheds, is it possible to have a girlfriend and leverage swing trade? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can have a girlfriend, man. Just go meet people. Go do a class. If you like try online dating, if you don't want to do that, like do a class, like do something, do an activity and like get to know people and see if that works. Like if you have bad social skills, like try to improve it. Like have you thought about, practice it. Don't read books where it's like, oh, I need to neg on girls. If I make fun of girls, there's all these stupid books like I go neg on a woman and she'll like me, which means like insult them. Just be yourself. If it doesn't work, okay. Find someone who likes you for who you are. You're not going to be someone else, right? You can't be anyone else. You might as well be yourself and find someone who likes you for who you are, but also be kind. Practice being kind, being empathetic, listen to people, be a good listener. Those things will help. If you want to get a girlfriend, learn how to be a good listener. And I'm not trying to be sexist here, but women love to have someone listen to them. I mean, dudes too, but that's just you're asking for a girlfriend and leverage trading. So, work on that. Top 100 alts. Paul, you're going to play 100 alts? Paul says top 100 alts is your switch. Are you going to play 100 alts? That's crazy. Your watch list should be about half of mine or less. Like I do this for a living. I have to cover everything. You should have 10 or 15 plays. You should know those plays should be the strongest coins. The ins and outs. 100 alts. Like just don't waste your time. Play the strongest stuff. Gold is bullish. We'll do a couple more. I'm wrapping it up. This has been a good stream. We talked about TRX. TRX influence next support. Yeah. 33.50. I mean, you can kind of call it here. 31.2. You've got support layered. But I think maybe around 32 cents. Hope you see this. You already have credibility. Thanks, Harry. Appreciate you, brother. Cheds, do you ever look at USDT dominance? No. Can that be useful for trading Bitcoin? No. In my opinion, I don't waste. And you asked about like total for clues. No, I don't philosophically, I do not look, and I look at dominance sometimes just for fun, but don't waste muscle memory. Like if you're thinking, oh, dominance is doing this, so then therefore, but at the end of the day, if you're trading Bitcoin, it's just based on, does Bitcoin hold support? It's just price interaction with a level, and your trading thesis is just based on, the price with a certain level, not dominance or USTT, or total or whatever. Like, don't waste your muscle memory on charts you're not actively or actually trading. Gilbert says, in your analysis, do you always start with the weekly chart down to the 4-hour? That's a great question. I do at Bitcoin Live for sure, and I probably do here a little bit too, because I want to give you folks a nice overview, but it's a question of what time frame should you use, and that is depending on a couple things in classical charting, right? For example, and there's a lot of stuff about time frames, right? Even if I'm trading on the daily, you need to know what the weekly is doing, what the larger trend is doing. The weekly being the primary trend, secondary trend, daily, and then like a minor trend, maybe 4-hour or something. But classical charting, what time frame should I use? Well, after volatility, drop to a low time frame. When the price is interacting with a key level, drop to a lower time frame. I have a video in here. I have 1 trillion videos now, but it's called like, what time frame should I use? Okay, and you can find it in here. Here we go. Look at that. What time frame should I use? And here you go, multi-time frame analysis. Both of these videos, these are 3-minute videos, 4-minute videos. Go watch it. Both of these will explain to you what time frames to use, why I do what I do, and for you to get a good sense of what's going on with the trend. Okay, great question. Great question. Folks, I'm having a lot of fun with you here, but I'm probably going to wrap it up. So if I missed your questions, I'm really sorry, but I'll try to do it next time. Today is Friday. There's a pretty good chance I'll do a live stream on Tuesday. So mark that on your calendars and look out for that. We've been going 40 minutes. That's more than enough. If you try to hit me up on Twitter, if I missed your question, try to reply to a video on YouTube. I'll see your comment. I am like super active on YouTube now. New video every day, trading encyclopedia. I even have shorts of my quotes. I've got the trading quotes book. So I published a new book, the journal, trading journal. It's out. I'm making the whole book free in this encyclopedia playlist. I'm making my trading wisdom book free. I'm doing every lesson, 50 lessons in here. Trading quotes book, I'm reading the whole thing for free. So you get all, don't have to buy my books. If you buy them, thank you. I hope you enjoy them. Leave a review, honest review. You can also get it all free on my YouTube. So check out my YouTube. Level up your skills. Take it seriously. I am teaching you professional technical analysis for free. That's literally what I do. I have a lot of pride in what I do, and hopefully you enjoy it. I enjoy you being here. I'm thankful for you being here today. Catch me on Twitter at Big Cheds. As you know, I'm a partner with BingX, my favorite exchange. Also, I'm now partnered with edgeX for US users. Some people always ask me, I'm in the US, how can I trade? Where can I trade? Check out edgeX. Twitter, Big Cheds, YouTube Cheds Trading, Bitcoin Live, founding analyst. Super proud of the team there. We talked a lot about Bitcoin. I talked a lot about the analogies to 2021 top. I want to leave you with the idea that we really can't call top here. There's nothing in here. There's nothing here that says top yet, because you've got support, you're holding MA50, you're holding MA50. We'd have to see much more weakening trend to start to call top. That being said, sure, there can be concern, there can be caution. We did not hold 116K. We didn't hold 120K on the breakout. We had the outside bar and the up thrust, right? We didn't hold 116K, we didn't hold 112, but you got levels below, play level to level, and stay true to the trend, and you'll probably do pretty well. So thank you. I really appreciate you folks. Let's get some little bit of music and some dancing with Church of 8 Wheels. Where do I have that? I have that in another window. So we're gonna do a little bit of a dancing with Church of 8 Windows. But folks, I really appreciate you. Folks, you keep showing up every time. You encourage me to do more of these videos. So I'll keep doing that. You catch me here on Tuesday for my next live. So let's do it. Let's jam out. Let's do it. Thank you, everybody. Have an awesome weekend. Big Cheds out.